Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
What's going on, y'all? Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the weekend recap Monday edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. Of course, I'm your host, Shedeur Scott. You can follow me at Shedeur Scott on all social media platforms, man. Glad I can finally do this because Xfinity Internet has been a pain in my ass these last 7 days. That's why I wasn't able to do a full-length show on Friday. Damn near wasn't gonna be able to do a full length one today. This just came on like an hour and a half ago, so I'm glad it's up and running. This one's not gonna be an hour. I've got a doctor's appointment in about an hour, so this one probably gonna be in between 30 to 40 minutes. But we are here, and to make up for the fact that there was no show the last 2 weeks, a live show because of my internet issues last Friday, and then the week before that was Black Friday holiday. Today's episode will be free. So, of course, the Patreon subscribers will get it first. And then later on this evening, around 4 or 5 p.m. Central Time, this will be up on my personal YouTube channel, the HMB Media YouTube channel, and the Barbers Chair Network YouTube channel tonight. So for everybody who's watching this who is not a Patreon subscriber, I would advise you to subscribe to the Patreon so you can get the Monday weekend recaps that I do exclusively for the Patreon. You subscribe to the I'm Not Gonna Hold You tier, which is $5, or the Barber Chair Access tier, which is $10. You will get this each and every Monday. You will get the video version and you will get an audio podcast version. So the link is in the description box, and if you are too lazy to go there, you can take your phone up to whatever screen you're watching, scan the QR code, and it will take you right over to the links. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, please press subscribe. Press the subscribe button, leave a comment, share. Trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the football season. I'm at 412 right now. Started this personal channel back in back in June. So we've been doing good. I appreciate everybody who's been watching all the content, man. So let's just get right into it, man. I had a tough sports weekend, to say the least. all three of my football teams lost this weekend. That is my European football team, which is Arsenal Football Club. That is my college football team, which is the Ohio State Buckeyes. And, of course, my NFL team, the Chicago Bears. All three lost in very painful and last-minute fashion. Arsenal broke their 18-game unbeaten streak. We have not lost since the end of August. And lost with no time left against Aston Villa, which had me upset at 8:30 in the morning because the games come on out early out here with them being out there in the UK. So that tipped off my weekend on Saturday. Fast forward about 12 hours later, Ohio State loses the Big Ten championship to the Indiana Hoosiers because Jaden Fielding decided to miss a 27-yard give me field goal that would have tied the football game. Now, this doesn't impact too much because honestly, these conference games don't really mean that much. And, Ohio State's still the number 2 seed in the college football playoffs and will get a first round bye, but still is not a good one. And then yesterday, I was at Lambeau Field, Bears losing off last play, 4th and 1 interception by Caleb Williams. Tried to get the Cole Kmet. Got intercepted by Keyshawn Nixon. I think that's his first name. It was not. I apologize. Actually, no, he's a Packer. I don't apologize. So, but yeah. So it was a rough sports weekend for your boy. But once again, we moved. I got in late last night, probably around 12:30 in the morning. Slept a good 7 hours this morning. My body's feeling good. I'm rested. Had it. I would say this before I get into this game. I hate to say this, man. Even though the bleachers are very dirty, and if you saw my Instagram video, you saw all the. I was walking. Felt like I was walking through filth, like liquid COVID is what it felt like walking through those bleachers trying to do the post game video. But Lambeau Field as a stadium, I hate to say it, it's one of my favorite stadiums. I honestly like every stadium in the NFC North. Like Ford Field. I love US Bank Stadium. That is the SoFi Stadium of the Midwest. And Lambeau Field, I like Lambeau Field just because of the history. It feels like I'm walking into an NFL Films video when I'm walking in Lambeau Field and just the history. Now, the actual building itself is old. Old and how you would think of almost a century old stadium would be. But yesterday was a big game, man. Tough loss, but a big game. Bears lost this one 28-21, man. Came down to the final play of the game. Caleb Williams, if you just look strict, well, even strictly stats, Caleb Williams had a up and down game. I feel like the Bears in general had an up and down game. He went 19-35, 186 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Jordan Love, on the other hand, way more efficient, but nothing too spectacular either. He had 17-25, 234 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Both quarterbacks only got sacked 1 time. Caleb avoided a lot more. That pass rush for Green Bay was really coming at him. The rushing attack for the Bears, 138 rushing yards on the ground. No touchdowns, though. We'll get into that in just a second. Packers had 117 rushes on the ground, but they had the touchdown from Josh Jacobs, which effectively won the game at the end because the Bears decided we're not going to tackle on this 3rd and 8 right here and let him run 21 yards to basically get into the end zone. Offensively, receiving wise for the Bears, obviously the Bears' number 1 wide receiver, Rome Odunze, was not available yesterday, was not playing. Hopefully they get him back this weekend. But Luther Burden stepped up, led for the way with 4 receptions, 67 yards. Cole Kmet, Colston Love, and Devin Duvernay. The ball was spread around pretty evenly yesterday. Now, there's a lot of things. I said this in my post-game video, and I'm going to stick with it, man. This is a tough loss for sure. Nobody likes losing to the Green Bay Packers. In fact, I hate it more than anything on this earth, losing to the Green Bay Packers. Now, yesterday was only my 2nd time being in Lambeau Field. That's because the last couple of years, they usually schedule these games towards the end of the season where the Bears are pretty much out of it. And so it's like I'm not going to be driving all the way to bumfuck Wisconsin to watch this game when the Bears they're not in it anymore. So this is my first time at Lambeau in about 3 years, since week 2 of the 2022 season, which was Matt Eberflus's first year, and it was Justin's first full year as a starter. Newsflash, that game didn't go so well. Fans were leaving Lambeau Field chanting, Bears still suck. Now, fans were still leaving Lambeau Field this time chanting the same thing. But if you ask a Packer fan, honestly, do they really believe that? I don't think they do. This was a game that was incredible. If you were neutral, I know you probably enjoyed this game. For Bears and Packers fans, we were in hell, stressed, nervous for the majority of the game. This is a game. This is a rivalry that between the fans and the history is the biggest rivalry in history of the NFL. Now, that's just between the fans and the players and the coaches and everybody involved. When you become a Packer, you learn to hate the Bears. You don't make up a reason like Mr. Michael Parsons, who had a shit game, by the way, yesterday. I'm leaving here with something. You accept it. Same thing with the Bears. You know what I'm saying? It's in that tier of rivalry with Michigan, Ohio State, with Lakers, Celtics, with the entire NFC East. You know what I'm saying? That kind of deal. And I think for the NFL, this is amazing. This is why I say that, because this to me now is going to be a real rivalry over the next 5 years. And if you look through the modern history, let's just say the Super Bowl era of this rivalry, that's the only time you're supposed to count, because Packers like to call themselves Title Town, and y'all know how I feel about that. If y'all Title Town for counting championships that y'all won when black people couldn't vote, then nigga, we Title Town too. We got like 10 NFL championships too, if you want to do that. But I digress. Um, if you look at the Super Bowl era in the 80s, which is what I like to call the Bears' golden era of the modern time, the Ditka, the 85 team, and that whole decade, they were making easy work of the Packers. When Brett Favre put on a Packer uniform, outside that little 4-year gap when Lovey first got the job, where the Bears are winning, it was never a back and forth. I've never ever had this been a back and forth. It's usually in my time as a Bears fan, the Packers dominating. In fact, out of their last 19 matchups, they are now 17-2 over the Bears. But I do think, despite the loss yesterday, this is about to be something that is going to be amazing for the NFL. You can have the two oldest teams, the teams that founded this league, going together and fighting for NFC North championships, fighting for the NFC, trying to get to the Super Bowl. This is going to be great. And you already saw it yesterday. Went down to the final play, America's Game of the Week with Tom Burkhardt and Tom Brady, Kevin Burkhardt, my bad, and Tom Brady calling the game. And then the game in 12 days at Soldier Field, Saturday Night Football, the Saturday before Christmas. It's prime time, baby, with the lights. And so I think going forward, you got two young coaches in Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson, got two young quarterbacks in Caleb Williams and Jordan Love, and two young teams that are really coming up. And it's like there's no walking Hall of Famer in this matchup. And that's why I think it's going to be fun going forward, man. But I think if you're a Bears fan, I feel good. I feel good. Obviously, don't feel good about the loss. We can sit up here and my personal opinion on that last play, I did not like it. I did not like the play call. Even if he would have called it, even if Cole Kmet would have caught it and got in the end zone, I did not like that play call. I would have ran for it on 4th and 1, got the first down, and you got 4 tries at the end zone with 3 timeouts left. And I would have went for the 2-point conversion as well. I don't have faith in the defense in overtime to get a stop and get through that. So I went for the 2-point conversion. If they missed, I'd have lived with it. But everybody said, oh, he should have run. I said that first. He was not getting that first down. If you go back and look at it, he was not getting that first down. DJ was – maybe he could have got it to him. I don't know. I'm not really mad at that. He just probably should put some more on the ball. But Bears will be fine. No need to crash out. And I tweeted this yesterday, and I feel this way about Arsenal fans as well. A lot of y'all ain't built for in the Premier League title races and in the NFL for the Bears playoff chasing races. It's going to be ups and downs. You're not going to win every week. This is the first time the Bears have lost in 5 weeks. This is only 3rd time in this entire season, the 4th time in this entire season that they've lost a football game. You know what I'm saying? They have not lost back-to-back games since the first 2 games of the season. They're going to be fine. Nobody said this was going to be easy. And that's for the entire NFC. Nobody is clinched. This is going down to week 18, and I think it's going to be the most chaotic week 18 we've seen in NFL history. So you just got to keep pace. Next week, we could be back in first place next week. Look at the schedules of the 3 teams in this NFC North race, which I really think it's a 2-team race. The NFC North champions is either going to be the Green Bay Packers or the Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions need to just worry about getting in the playoffs. That's very much quiet right now. The Bears are home against Cleveland Browns, a game they should win and a game they should win very handily. I love what Shedeur is doing, but they just lost at home to a team that's going to be picking number 1 in the NFL draft in April. Now, a lot of that got to do with Kevin Stefanski pulling out Shedeur for the final 2-point conversion, which was idiotic, but that's the team you should. And they just lost their starting center with a torn Achilles for the rest of the season. So that should be a big game for the Bears. Where the Packers go? Packers going to the Mile High to play the number 1 team in the AFC, the Denver Broncos. Now, the offense, I'm not that big of a fan of the quarterback. He's not bad, but I do believe that D-line in Green Bay can, give him some trouble. But that defense that they've got in the Mile High, man, with Patrick Surtain, all those guys, that's going to be a tough game for them to win. And then you got Detroit going on the road to Los Angeles, and they're going to be taking on a team that's just flying. That is Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams, who are, I think they're 9-2 right now or 10-2. Let me check real quick what their record is. But this is a team right now where Matthew Stafford has an opportunity to take his old team out back and and do that and say, oh yeah, no playoffs for you guys. And the Rams are 10-3. So yeah, they're rolling right now. Just had a blowout game last night against the Cardinals. And there's a real chance if the Bears take care of business next week, that the Packers lose to the Denver Broncos and the Lions lose to the Los Angeles Rams. That helps both fronts. That helps the fact that, it helps you with your NFC North chase and also helps you with your wild card chase, just in case you do fall there, man. So I think this is a big week. It's a big, big week for the Bears next week. And it's time for the fans to just get it together, man. Get it together. Don't be out here, what I'm saying, wallowing in your sorrows and things like that. That don't mean that you can't get upset. You're supposed to get upset about these things. It's sports. I don't want to tell you that you should be devoid of regular fan emotion. I'm just saying, be upset, put your stuff together, on to Cleveland, man. So I want to look at these final 4 games for the Bears here. Now, I've got some stats for you. Shout out to my boy Mikey. The Bears have a 67% chance of making the playoffs as it stands of 12:52 p.m. Monday, December 8th. Now, they have 9 wins. Looking at the landscape of these next 4 wins, 2 should get you in. 2 wins will get you in with some help. 3, you're in there. Like, you're not going to miss it with 12 wins. I think there's a good chance that somebody could be asked out in the NFC North or the NFC West with 11 wins. I for sure don't think just 10 is going to get you in. That's how close it's been. But if you look at these final 4, man, the Bears are at home. The Bears, for final 4 games, they're at the crib 3 out of the final 4. Now, this is a team that's only lost 1 game in Soldier Field, and that was the opening game against Minnesota. So they really probably should be undefeated, but whatever. You got the Cleveland Browns at home. Yes, they've got a really great, really good defensive line, a generational defensive tackle that can cause problems. But I thought the offensive line did really good in that second half last night against that really tough front of the Green Bay Packers and pretty much made Micah Parsons obsolete in that second half. So you can deal with that. But this is a rookie quarterback on the road and a team that's terrible. You should win that. Then you get your second crack at the Green Bay Packers at home. Learn from your mistakes. Run the football, and you should be able to win that game. Then you go on the road, Sunday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers. And this is a place that historically the Bears have never played well in San Francisco, even in the 80s, the Super Bowl era. You know what I'm saying? They have historically not played well at either Candlestick Park or at Levi Stadium. But this is a beatable version of the San Francisco 49ers, in my opinion. Last time the Bears won there was 2018. When they had already clinched the division. So it was like, I don't really think they were really playing, and the Niners were terrible that year. But that was the last time they won. I think that's a winnable game. And then you close out the season, which basically, if you handle your business in those first 3 games, that game will mean nothing to you. And you can either rest starters or decide to say, if Detroit's not out of it, put them out of it. Or if you don't take care of business in those first 3 games, your playoff life will be on the line in that final game. So I don't know. That might be another Sunday Night Football game too. So basically, I said, if you had told any Bears fan at the beginning of the year that you were going to the final 4 games of the season with 3 of those games at home with a chance to get in the playoffs, would you take it? Every Bears fan on planet Earth would have took it. So I know there's Bears PTSD. I know there's thinking about how they jagged in the past, but this is not the same team. This is a well-coached team. This is a good quarterback. You got your guy. Go out there and win. And I'm confident they win. In fact, I would not be surprised if the Bears go 4-0 and end this season on a 4-0 winning streak. They've done it before. I see no reason why they can't win it again. But I do think at the worst, they will be 3-1. So we're going to see. This is going to go down to week 18, final week of the season, man. So I'm excited to see that. Hopefully, I'll have more on this tomorrow when we do 79th and Hallis. And I'm saying hopefully because my internet has really been a toss-up, man. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, we're able to do that. I'm just going to quickly spend the next 15 minutes on some other NFL stories that we have today. Let's talk about Mr. Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur, who will be coming to the lakefront next Sunday to play the Chicago Bears. His second start yesterday didn't result in a win, but I felt he played a pretty great game of football, especially for a rookie. Now, I try not to get too high on rookies because, as we've seen, you don't really know what kind of quarterback you got till year 2 when the film is out. C.J. Stroud looked like a world beater his first year. Now look at him. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a while. But for what Shedeur's been through, and he hasn't got any reps, I love what I saw yesterday. 23 of 42, 364 yards passing, 3 touchdowns thrown, 1 interception. He also had a touchdown on the ground. He had a really, really good game. Now, I love it because I just love how we all rallied around Shedeur. Like he's like our internet nephew, and it was really dope to see Dion there. And he's able to just be a father now for the first time since Shedeur picked up football. He's been Shedeur's only coach his entire life until he came to Cleveland. So now to see him not as Coach Prime, but as his father, I think it's been real cool. You can just see how proud he is of him. And I know some people are like, why is he going to the facility doing this? At the end of the day, dog, and we got to keep it simple on this one as well. By the way, hold on, and take a sip of water. He is still prime time. Okay, so yes, the NFL is going to roll out the red carpet for him whenever he wants to come to the game. But love what I saw from Shedeur. Kevin Stefanski, I don't know why he took him out on that final play for the 2-point conversion. I also don't know why he or anybody else at that franchise thought that Taylor Gabriel should have been starting or taking first team reps, whatever. There's a clear difference in the games that we've seen Shedeur play and the games that we've seen Gabriel play. And they are not the same quarterback, which I was yelling from the mountaintops in the NFL draft last year. And why I was confused by why he dropped so low. So, but Kevin Stefanski did announce today that he will be starting for the rest of the season. So big shout out to Shedeur. Love Shedeur, big fan. He's our internet. He's my internet nephew. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to do it to him next week. I do not want to, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to do it to him next week. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be good, man. Let's go on to Mr. Joshua Allen. Shootout yesterday against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, who are pretty much officially done with any of their small playoff hopes. Joe Burrow did have a pretty solid game, 25-36, 284 yards passing, 4 touchdowns thrown, 2 interceptions. But Josh Allen was just better yesterday, 22-28, 251 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. And they are now moving closer and closer to clinching a playoff spot as they move to 9-4. They're not going to win this division. This is going to be the New England Patriots. If you're watching the video, I'm sorry, I touched my camera the wrong way. But this will be the division of the New England Patriots. But I want to talk about this. It's not even about this game. It's about the opportunity at hand for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. There's no more excuses. And those excuses might have been valid, but there's no more excuses because it's looking like he's not going to have any Patrick Mahomes to deal with, and he's not going to have any Lamar Jackson to deal with, and no Joe Burrow to deal with. I like what Denver's doing. I like what New England's doing. But those are 2 second-year quarterbacks. If he does not come out of the AFC this year, and I love Josh. Y'all know I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything else. This is your time. Yeah, you're not going to have division. Yeah, people not going to be coming to Buffalo to beat y'all, play y'all. It don't matter. It's your time to do it. And this is what you're going to see from a lot of people. That's going to be the narrative going into the playoffs. Now, obviously, they have not officially clinched yet. They still have time to screw this in a very high way. And they've got I won't say they got a tough schedule. They got 2 tough games. First of all, you got to go to New England next week to play the Patriots. You go to the Browns, winnable game. You play the Eagles the week after that, which is going to be tough, and then you close out against the Jets. Even though the Jets are terrible, it is a division game. So there's still room for them to mess up. But I'm looking at all 4 of these games. You should win. I don't care what New England's doing. Go into their house and beat them like you've done the last couple of years. So all eyes are on Josh Allen. Now, it is put up or shut up time. Can he get it done? Been a real up and down year for him. But the pathway is clear. You know what I'm saying? But the last couple years always been, okay, the Bills have had a good year, but are they going to beat Patrick Mahomes? Even though he beat Lamar Jackson, it was a tough game. You know what I'm saying? He's lost to Joe Burrow in the playoffs. What is he going to do? None of those guys are here. In the words of Franklin Saint, they're all gone. What are you going to do? So I'm going to be looking at looking at Josh Allen to see if he can actually get it done, man. Gonna close it up with talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs fans, come to the stage. Gotta tell you guys something that you probably know, but you don't want to hear. I'm gonna get close to the microphone when I say this. It is fucking over. Okay? It's over. The ESPN documentaries, the Super Bowl trips, the Mahomes is better than Tom Brady. Kelsey's the best. Taylor Swift coming to games. By the way, I ain't seen her ass at a game in a minute. It's fucking over. Okay? It's over. Love Pat. But look at these numbers. 14 to 33, 160 yards passing, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. These are Chicago Bear quarterback numbers. These are terrible. Now, I watched the game yesterday on the car on the way back from Lambeau Field. A lot of those dudes dropped some balls, but this is still unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Uh, Travis Kelsey, come to the stage, Travis, and pull up these stats. You all the way here at the bottom. 1 reception, 8 yards. And you dropped the pass that would have kept the game going. Ridiculous. It's time for you to let your billionaire, global superstar fiance take care of you. And time for you to continue with your very successful podcast. Cut this fucking over. Andy Reid, come to the stage. I love Andy Reid. I wish he was my coach for the last decade plus. When I liked the Eagles as a kid because T.O. was my man, and I actually liked Donovan before I found out he was a sucker. I loved Andy Reid. But it's fucking over. It's time for you to retire and take your place as one of the greatest coaches to ever coach this game and walk the Canton. Because it's fucking over. Kansas City Chiefs fans, back to the ghetto you go. This one is over. They are 6-7. Lost to the Houston Texans 20-10. Phenomenal defense out there in Houston. And what makes it worse is that offense in Houston was just as bad as y'all, and you still couldn't do it. CJ Stroud, I don't know what the hell you've been doing. It's like when he tried to big bro Caleb, and I was in the building for that game, it's like the powers got switched after that. It's very, very funny. Very, very pivotal moment in the NFL. It's over, man. All dynasties come to an end. I did not expect this dynasty to end the way it is ending, but it is a wrap. And I never thought that even in his weakest time, that Patrick Mahomes would ever miss the playoffs. But he's going to miss it. Now, doesn't mean Patrick Mahomes is done. I never said that. I never said it was over for him. He's Patrick Mahomes. But there's going to be a lot of change in Kansas City next year, I believe. And there needs to be a lot of changing. You know what happens? If you're a great quarterback, sometimes you go through droughts. I know we forget about it now because we got 7 rings, but I am of age to remember Tom Brady went a full decade without winning the Super Bowl. Now, he was still going to Super Bowls. But yeah, it's gonna be a new era in Kansas City, and I think it's all good things for them come to an end. But for the rest of the NFL, Birdman hammer up time, man. But that is all I got for y'all. This is a much shorter edition of the weekend recap than we usually do. Usually try to do about 45 minutes to an hour. I have to leave this house in about 10 minutes because I have a doctor's appointment, and I just wanted to do this for y'all now because I don't know when my internet's gonna knock out again today, but. Like I said, this will be the Patreon users first, and then it will be on the free feeds around 4 or 5 o'clock tonight. So, yeah, man, looking forward to that. And, I will hopefully, God willing, the internet sticks up. We will be streaming tomorrow for 7 Night at the House, man. But I'm your boy, Barbchair Scott. This is I'm Not Gonna Hold You to Recap, and I will holler at y'all when I holler at y'all. I'm out.